A big thank you to Connect for making this video possible. A smartphone for under 80 euros. What do you expect from it? Not much, right? Neither did I. But then I got a chance to test out the Lumia 435. It changed my opinion on cheap phones forever. Hey, what's up guys, Seb here, and today I'm bringing you my review of the cheapest phone I have reviewed yet. It's the Microsoft Lumia 435. With a price tag of only 75 euros, it's a budget king. But the question is this phone like any other 75 euro smartphone, or does it really deliver a great user experience? Taking a look at the design, you can see Microsoft had to save some money by using cheap materials. For this phone there is no aluminium or any other premium material used on the outside. Plastic is all you get. But it's not because the phone is made out of plastic that it's bad. I mean, look at the iPhone 5C. Not that that's a great example, but you know what I'm trying to say. So the plastic, it has a matte finish, giving the phone a premium look. On the other hand, the downside of this matte finish is that the phone can be quite slippery sometimes. Fortunately, the phone isn't too big, so you can easily hold it in one hand, so chances of dropping it decrease quite a lot. Because it's a small phone, there is no room for a big screen. That's why this phone has a 4-inch screen. Unfortunately, the resolution isn't quite impressive. With a 480 on 800 pixels resolution, this phone won't be known for its great screen, simply because it hasn't got one. The viewing angles are just really bad, you can see the pixels, colors don't really come to their right, and the brightness also isn't very impressive. But the screen actually impressed me in a positive way. First of all, when using the phone, I never saw any pixels, except for when I looked for them, and there's just something about the screen on this phone that makes you forget about all of its bad sides. I still haven't figured out what the specific element is that makes up for all the bad. All I know is that it's there and it makes using the phone quite enjoyable. But when having a screen, displaying something on it is quite obvious. So one of the things you can display on it are pictures. Pictures took with the camera. The only thing is that for its price tag, you can expect the Lumia 435 to have a good camera. And like you would expect, it hasn't got one. It has a 2 megapixel sensor, and unfortunately the pictures you take with it aren't very impressive. Not at all, to be completely honest with you. They look blurred, and in low light conditions you better decide not to take a picture at all. With a 2 megapixel sensor you also can't expect it to shoot videos in a decent quality neither. It only is capable to record videos in a resolution of 800 by 480 pixels, which is a very low resolution, and in other words, video footage is just horrible. The same goes for your front-facing camera. I don't understand why Microsoft chose to put a camera in this phone, because for this price you just can't make a phone with a decent camera. And because the Lumia range is also mainly known for having great cameras, this phone's camera is just a shame. But hey, you at least do have a camera. Fortunately, by spending so little on a camera, there was some budget left to invest in a decent processor. To be exact, Microsoft invested it in a Snapdragon 200 processor for this device. It has a dual-core build and is capable of providing 1.2 GHz. And while talking specs, the phone also has an Adreno 302 GPU as well as 1GB of RAM. It aren't the highest specs, but specs aren't always everything. Because when you are able to control both software and hardware, specs instantly become less important. Just look at Apple. This phone's performance is just so surprisingly good in almost every way. I started to play a simple game called Pick a Wire. The Lumia had no problem at all handling it, so I decided to play some Temple Run, which is not the most graphic intense game nor the least. And again, the Lumia kept up surprisingly well. After just opening the app or after switching between apps, it was a bit laggy, but after a few seconds of playing the game the lag was gone and I just forgot that I was playing this game on a 75 euro device. Of course, when you want to play a graphic intensive game, lag can be expected, but when using it for average day-to-day tasks and simple games, the 435 is more than good enough. You of course also have to store all of your games, music, photos, videos, etc. on this device, and doing so can be quite hard since this device only has 8 GB of internal storage. Fortunately, this problem can be solved very easily by buying a micro SD card up to 128 GB. I also want to give you a bit more information regarding the software this phone is running. It is running WindowsPhone 8.1, the successor to Windows Phone 8, and I really was very surprised to see how smooth it ran on this device with such low specifications. Again, a positive surprise if you ask me. So a little more on the phone's software and its features. The first feature that I just love about all Lumia devices is that when you double tap on the screen, the phone gets on. On the more premium devices the response time was almost directly, but with this phone it wasn't very rare that you had to do this gesture twice. Also coming with Windows Phone 8.1 is a notification center, which is, if you ask me, a huge upgrade compared to Windows Phone 8. In the notification center you both get some quick settings as well as, you guessed it, notifications. I think Microsoft should add a bit more functionality to it, but I'm already happy that you have a way to see all your missed notifications. Another typical thing about Windows Phone 8.1 are the live tiles, which I personally quite like. You know, also can set a background, but instead of putting the background in the back, some tiles just show the background, giving a cool look to your phone. I also just need to talk about a killer feature that now is available on almost every Windows phone. It's called Cortana. You might already have heard about it, and if not, Cortana is Microsoft's answer to Siri and Google Now. Like Google Now, it shows you accurate information regarding temperature, news, where you are, etc. And like Siri, it responds like a human would do. You can ask Cortana everything, and when she has no direct response to your question, you simply will be redirected to Bing, so you still can find an answer on your question. Cortana also keeps a list of things you searched, places you visited, interests, and go on. And because Cortana knows all of this, it really becomes a personal experience using it, something I sometimes miss when using Siri. Cortana still is in beta, although you wouldn't say that because it is very accurate in understanding you. I'm sure Cortana is becoming a new key element in Microsoft's new Windows, which is just great because it really is a killer feature. And also worth mentioning is that Cortana might be coming to an Android or iOS device near you very soon. Cool, right? Besides of everything I already mentioned, you still have some other pre-installed apps like a specific selfie app, a data sense app, and a few more alike apps. I'm also very happy to see the amount of apps in the store is growing. I'm still waiting on more Google apps, but at the moment every app I would need is available in the store, so I can finally say I could make the switch to Lumia if I wanted to. Something I couldn't say a year ago or even some months ago. To use all of these apps you of course also need power. In a smartphone, the battery is a part that provides the phone of that. And the Lumia 435 has a 1650 mAh battery, which was just big enough to easily survive a day with normal usage. When not using the phone a lot and turning the battery saver mode on, I was able to play games for 3 days without having to charge it. This is something Lumias really are great at. They really are battery nippers, unlike some other smartphones out there. The Lumia 435 also comes with a quite small rear-facing speaker. The cool thing about it is that it can get pretty loud. Unfortunately, this also results in a disadvantage. The sound that comes out of the speaker isn't very clear to begin with, and when turning the volume up it only makes it worse. But when listening to the speakers in a quiet room, you won't need to turn the volume very loud, so you won't have a very big problem with the clearness of the sound. And if it does disturb you, you still can use earphones to listen to your music. So in the end, is this phone like any other €75 smartphone, or does it really deliver a great user experience? The answer to that question is very simple. It is completely different than any other €75 and even €100 smartphones out there. And not simply because it's running Windows Phone. The way it handles daily tasks, how long the battery lasts, and just how joyful it is to use this device make this phone one of its kind. I have never seen a phone from this price range perform so good. Never. Yes, it hasn't got the highest specs, but it does everything more than fast and smooth enough with the specs it has. Would I personally buy this phone? As a daily driver? No. Personally, I'd rather have a slightly bigger phone with a better screen and camera. I also just don't have a problem with paying above €400 for a smartphone, but I know there are lots of people out there who do. But I would still recommend this phone to practical everybody, especially when you're looking for a cheaper phone. Most people who are take a look at an Android phone. But the thing about all Android phones under €100 is that they lag, never get updated, have almost no cool features, so believe me when I say if you're looking for a smartphone under €100, this phone is the perfect match for you. It has everything you possibly need in a smartphone and it really does its job, unlike other phones in the price range, very well. So my advice is, go buy this extraordinary cheap but also great phone if you're looking for a cheap new smartphone. This phone really changed my view on cheap smartphones and I'm sure it will also change yours. And I truly believe you can get a good smartphone for under €100. So thanks Microsoft for making this statement. So guys, I guess this wraps up this video. Again, a big thank you to Connect for making this video possible. And I really hope I helped you decide whether to go for this phone or not. I also hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if so, be sure to leave a thumbs up. Also be sure to press that subscribe button for more content like this. Like always, thanks for watching and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.